Alright, here we go. Set number 5. Navi have managed to fight their way from nearly getting swept all the way to a set number 5, where they'll be hoping to finish it off right here, right now, and make the grand finals of this monthly final. They're going to be starting it off here with the Max on the classic map Hard Rock Mine. Max is obviously going to be playing that mid role, and it is just such a solid brawler. Being able to speed up your whole team, having that phase shifter to get out of those sticky situations, and of course that hypercharge, being able to charge your team's supers, especially that 75% if you're all stacked on top of each other, is surely a mechanic that an experienced team like Navi will utilize here. FA Nidog responding with the Ruffs and the Crow. The Ruffs has always been a very, very good pick on this map. Obviously, those bouncing shots, being able to hit people in those encroached areas, those small choke points on the map, and especially with Rico being banned, Ruffs is the next best option in terms of control on those lanes. Ryohei bringing in the Crow as well. Very solid option is the Max counter. Anytime a Max is being picked, Crow was always seen as the counter, especially with that 5 seconds of slow, which slowing Toxin used to bring. But that has obviously been nerfed, those days are gone, and now it's just 2 seconds. But if you get the slow onto the enemy team, the whole of the enemy team, it can still be super beneficial to pick up those kills and steal away those gems. Navi responding with the Carl and the Charlie. Carl obviously is going to be bringing in most likely the second gadget, which is the gadget which allows the pickaxe to leave a trail of flaming rocks. Now Flying Hook is naturally the better gadget, however it's not really going to bring much value here as there's no need to be flying around the map. You just want to hold the control, and I feel like that's where Heat Ejector will be coming into handy here. And Charlie as well, never a bad pick on Gem Crab. You just cocoon the gem carrier and they just drop all the gems. Always such a solid option. And Buster as well to round off the comp from FA Nidog. I feel like it's overall a pretty decent comp. I am a bit worried though about the mid situation for FA Nidog. I'm assuming Ryohei or whoever's playing the Crow will be running down that mid. However, Crow is not really such an oppressive brawler, and especially with the Max on the enemy team, I don't think the Crow will be doing too much here in the mid, but let's see. Levi already phase shifting in, getting 2 gems for his troubles here. Gonna try and get that 3rd gem as well. Meanwhile, on the lanes, we got a Choppy, Suzuku trying to push down those lanes. Ghost T is going to be really hard to dislodge from that position, especially with those bouncing shots. However, the sandbags that he's using will be pretty much useless against a Choppy, so he's going to have to rely on just his dodging and his ability to hit shots to win that lane. Whereas on the right hand side, Ryohei counters the Spider's gadget perfectly. However, he is outranged heavily by Suzuku, so these lane matchups are all around fair. Kuru and Levi pushing down the mid here, fighting for those gems in the mid. Suzuku, where did he come from? He just comes down the right hand side, gets 2 kills. Levi gets the 10th gem, and it's a countdown just like that. What seemed like such a fair game was just turned on its head by Suzuku coming in from the right hand side, getting 2 kills, allowing Levi to pick up the gems and just run away with it. 5 seconds left, Levi's safe in his spawn. A Choppy pops the super to confirm the kill. That's it. That is match point for Navi. This is it. This is their chance to pull off the full reverse sweep. And if they do this, they are going to be super happy with themselves, considering the fact that they nearly got swept. Navi nearly got swept by the newcomers. Let's see if Nidog make any adaptations here, and it seems like they have. Ryohei and Ghosty are going to perform a lane swap here. Ghosty is going to go down that right hand side where his gadget actually gets a bit more utility. Levi's standing still there, maybe some connection issues. But yeah, Ghosty's gadget is actually going to prove a lot more helpful on this Charlie lane. And Ryohei as well going to be able to use his gadget to stun a Choppy out of his super. But Levi again making these amazing plays, just popping the speed, phase shifter, just going in and getting those gems. Very, very important playmaker here for NAVI. Ryohei gonna go down that right hand side again. His objective is just to stay on that Carl, and whenever the Carl pops a super, Ryohei wants to cancel that out with his gadget. Ghosty gonna try and get some control here on the left hand side. Kuru is just gonna keep on picking up those gems. He does pop the slow here onto just one person. However, it is enough to get them the control. Ryohei will be aiding in that by getting a choppy out of the mix. Ryohei is in that grass right now. Suzuku does get the cocoon, the gems drop, but the Nidog members pick them all up. The gems are split here, which is gonna be dangerous. Ryohei doesn't hit the gadget. Achabi baits that very nicely. All of Nidog holding these gems right here. It's not a good position though, because any one of them dying will be able to stop a countdown if it happens, whereas on the Navi side of things, only Levi has the gems, which is perfect for Choppy and Suzuki to go in like they're doing right now. Suzuki pushing up the right side, gonna try and get something done here. He can't really do much though, as Nidog are just stacking up together. Achabi's gonna try something, but he gets taken down. That's the 10th gem here, but any of the members going down on Nidog will result in a stoppage of the countdown. Ryohei gonna pop that shield right here. He is very low. Suzuku is on the bottom with that cocoon. He needs to hit it onto someone right now. He misses the cocoon. That is devastating for Navi. That cocoon needed to land. That cocoon needed to land from Suzuku, but it just missed the mark very slightly. And I think they're going to be kicking themselves about that one. If they had just gotten the countdown reset, they could have done something there. Nevertheless, one game to decide it all here between FA Nidog and Navi. Kuru and Levi will be fighting it down the mid again, whereas the lanes are going to be going back to how they were in game 1 for Nidog here. Buster down that right hand side, try and take out that Charlie. I think, yeah, they've sent Ryohei on a way more aggressive path here. He's going very, very aggressive. They're both one shot though. Ryohei is going to try and hold that right hand side. Levi goes down though. That is good work from Kuru. Ryohei is going to try and just hold that position right there, keep that pressure to stop the Navi members from coming through. Achapi does get stunned out of his super. Good stuff from Ryohei. Kuru has 5 gems. Levi here has no gems, but Suzuku is the member carrying 2 of the gems here. He does get 3, but he is still in the enemy spawn here. This is not looking good for Navi. If Suzuku goes down, that will be 9 gems for Nidog, which would be pretty dangerous. However, Navi have fought back here, gotten some resemblance of control here, but they need to hold it for a bit longer. 6-5 now. Navi need to continue holding here. Ryohei is going to try his best to get a choppy, which he does. Ghosty going to throw that super into the middle to give it to Kuru here, who is the most important one. He needs to have that extra HP, that extra damage to be carrying those gems. Ryohei with that shield, nice bait of the gadget again for a choppy. He's been baiting this out really well. Kuru with 7 gems, Ghosty with 1 as well. And this is not looking good for Navi. They need to get Kuru out of there ASAP. If he gets 1 more gem, he can jump out and Ghosty can retreat. There goes Ryohei though. Good stuff. Ghosty, he does get a choppy. Levi and Suzuku now in the mid. Suzuku goes down. Levi goes in, but he dies. No. This is terrible from Navi. Levi went in way too aggressively. He tried to salvage what he could from the situation, maybe phase shift in, get those gems, but I think it's over. Ryohei is gonna pop the pin, Levi's not moving, and that is it. Nidog managed to steal that game away from Navi and end up taking the victory over this matchup. Wow. I feel like there was a couple chokes in there from Navi, especially during the end of that game. If they'd played that a little bit more composed, it could have gone their way. But nonetheless, good game.